Namaste everyone. Today we are going to discuss 11th chapter, which is finance and accounts. Finance has been called the lifeblood of the business. Every business requires fund for its activities, and sound management of fund is essential for success in the business. So if you see any business activity, what is the most important thing which it require? It requires money. Okay, that is nothing but finance. Meaning of the finance. Business finance may be defined as the activity concerned with planning, raising, controlling, and administering of the fund used in the business. So, what you understand by finance or business finance? So, business finance, it is defined as the activity concerned with planning, raising, controlling, and administering of the fund used in the business. It involves the estimation, acquisition, and administration of the fund of any kind used in meeting the needs and objectives of the business firm. Funds used in the companies are known as corporate finance. Management of financial activities of a business is known as financial management. Liquidity, profitability, and solvency are the main objective of financial management. Liquidity means availability of adequate cash or cashable fund to meet the need of business whenever necessary. Profitability refers to the profit earning capacity of the business, and solvency implies the ability to repay its debt in right time, which require that its assets are more than sufficient to meet its liabilities. Functions of the finance and account. So here basically we understood what we mean by finance. Now finance, if in short we discuss finance, business finance means what? As in the definition you can say that it is concerned with the planning means how planning, we all know that whenever we do something, first we plan. So here in business finance also, when we are doing business, we are planning. Planning for what? Planning for money, what we are going to use in the business. So it is related with planning. Raising means now we have to arrange that money. First we have planned how much money we require. Okay, then we raise that money. That means we will accumulate that money from different sources. Either we take loan, or we use our own money, or we do some other way. Controlling, now money that need to be controlled means when you are spending that money for different work, you have to control so that it should not go beyond what you have planned. Okay, money. And administering of the funds, administering again the something similar to controlling. Administering, you are monitoring that how the fund is utilizing. So all these things, planning, raising, controlling, and administering, it all comes under business finance. Now, here we discussed three terms. We say that management of financial activities of a business is known as financial management, and liquidity, profitability, and solvency are the main objective of financial management. So, these financial activities we have to manage, and it comes under financial management. Now, three terms: liquidity, profitability, and solvency. They are the main objectives. Now, what we understood from liquidity? So here they have given liquidity means availability of adequate cash or cashable fund to meet the needs of the business whenever necessary. So whenever we have some requirement, how we meet our requirement, that is liquidity. So if we have ready cash available with us, then we meet our expenses. So that is liquidity. Second term is profitability. Now profitability, again we know after doing business, what extra money we earn is called profit of the business. So profitability, it is profit earning capacity of the business, how much profit you are earning. So objective of financial management is that also, how much profit we are earning. And solvency is during business we are taking different types of loans. So we are having liabilities. So how efficiently we pay that liability, that is related with solvency. Okay, so solvency implies the ability to repay its debt. So whatever you have taken as a loan, repay of that is nothing but ability, uh, repaying of ability of repaying to that money is your solvency. So these are objectives of financial management. Now let us see functions. The finance of and account department of the business enterprise perform the following functions. So functions one by one, if you see, first is estimating the financial requirement, how much finance we need, estimating the financial requirement. Second is designing the capital structure. Third is raising the fund. Fourth is investment of fund. Fifth is management of cash. Sixth is disposal of earnings. Seventh is financial control. And eighth is accounting. So estimation of financial requirement, we will see one by one all the functions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 different functions we are going to see. First is estimating the financial requirement. First of all, the total amount of fund requires during a specific time period in a business are estimated. So first we have to estimate how much money we need in a particular time frame. Accurate estimate at the accurate estimate at the financial need is necessary to avoid shortage of the fund to the business. Funds are needed. What I can say that estimation of financial requirement means here the major part is that we are understanding how much money is required for some specific job or for some in business at different point of time. What are the different amounts we require? So that comes under estimating the financial requirement. As this print is not good, we will skip this topic. Second is designing the capital structure. Designing the capital structure. So capital structure refers to the kind and proportion of different securities used to raise the estimated amount of the fund. Once the amount of fund to be raised is estimated, the sources from which the money is to be collected are decided. Funds can be raised from equity shareholders, preference shareholders, debenture holders, banks and financial institutions, public deposits, etc. So here designing the capital structure means what? Once you have decided how much amount you want to raise, then your next step is to understand how you are going to raise that money, from where you are going to arrange that money. So here they have given different options which we use, that is either we raise the money in the form of shares by selling shares, equity shares, so from equity shareholders, or from preference shareholders. So in shareholding structure we have equity shareholders, preference shareholders, we have debentures, banks and financial institutions. So these are different ways of raising fund from share market, you can say. Okay, equity shareholders, debentures, bank and financial institutions means you go to bank and get loan, or public deposits. So from public you accept money as deposit. The source of fund should be selected carefully, keeping in view the amount and type of fund required and merits and demerits of each source. So all sources are not good for all purposes. So depending upon our need, our requirement, we decide from which source we are going to raise the money. After selecting the sources of fund, the relative proportion between the equity and debt is decided. This is called capital structure. So capital structure means the type of type of structure we can say to be used and proportionate amount that make up the capitalizations. A proper balance between equity and debt is necessary for financial health of the business. So in this unit, what you understand that there are different ways by which you can raise the fund. There are different ways by which you can raise the fund, like you can raise fund from share market, you can raise a fund from public as a public deposit, you can raise fund from bank and financial institutions as loan. So there are different ways of arranging the money. Now you have to decide from which method, from which way you are going to arrange money for your requirement. So this is your designing of the capital structure. Now third is raising the fund. After the source of fund and relative proportion between them is decided, steps are taken to collect the necessary fund. For this purpose, a proportion is a prospectus is prepared and approved from the SEBI sources, SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India. Underwriters and brokers are appointed for the sale of the shares and debentures. Advertisements are released, agreements are made with the financial institutions for raising the loan, etc. The number of shares and debentures to be issued and the terms and conditions of issue of such are decided before the issue of prospectus. The terms and conditions of issue depends upon the reputation of the firm, the condition in the capital market, and the attitude of attitudes and the policies of management, etc. So in business, it is not from one source that you decide to raise the funds. Some fund you raise from bank as a loan, some fund you raise as a public deposit, some you raise as from equity shareholders or preference shareholders. So different amount you raise from different ways. So once you decide in what way you are going to raise the money, the next step is to raise the money. Now to raise the money, what a company does or what their management does, they first make a prospectus and they approve it from the SEBI. Now prospectus is a document in which it was clearly mentioned, it was mentioned that for what purpose you are going to raise the money, what is the ultimate use of the money, um, and how you are going to repay that money, and many other details are there that is written in the prospectus. So next step is to make the prospectus in which everything is clear, that from which source you are going to raise how much money, and you have to approve it from agencies like SEBI. Next is investment of the fund. So till now you have planned for money. Okay, you have planned for money means you have decided okay, for what different activities you need money, at what different time you need money. Secondly, you decide the structure, that how you are going to arrange that money, from which different sources you are going to arrange the money. Thirdly, you made a prospectus to raise the money. So after that, once you raise the money, now the next step or the next task for this management is to decide how to invest this fund. So effective utilization of fund is essential for the success of business. Investment of fund is necessary. Proper investment of the fund is necessary for profitable use of the fund. The investment of long-term fund is decided through the capital budgeting. So capital budgeting is a way by which we decide how we are going to use in long term. Several techniques are used for the evaluation of alternative investment proportions. Investment decisions should be made keeping in view the objectives of liquidity, profitability, and solvency. As the future earnings are unknown, investment decisions involve some risk, right? Future earnings are unknown. Na? You started business, how much profit you are going to make, you cannot know in the beginning. So there is some risk involved. Attempts should be made to maintain the right balance between risk and return on investment. The greater the degree of risk, the higher should be the return. So here the policy is simple, that if we are taking big risk, so there should be a big return also, right? So investment of the fund means now here management is deciding how they are going to utilize the fund which they have. Now management of cash. Management of cash. Adequate amount of cash must be made available. Adequate amount of cash must be made available in the business at all time to meet day-to-day expenses. Availability of cash is necessary to maintain liquidity and credit worthiness of the business. At the same time, idle cash should be avoided as it involves loss of earning. Efficient management of cash inflows and cash outflows is necessary. Cash flow statement, cash budget, fund flow statement, and other techniques are used for this purpose. So management of the cash. Management of the cash, here what we are considering, that adequate amount of cash must be made available in the business at all time to meet day-to-day expenses. It is too much true that there should always be some money available so that day-to-day expenses are met. Now there should not be too much cash idle also, because if we keep too much cash, then that cash will lose its earning potential. Means we are not utilizing it, so it is somehow some way losing its earning capacity. If we have utilized somewhere, it must have earned something. So we have to manage the cash. That means we have to keep some cash ready for day-to-day activities. Efficient management of cash inflows and cash outflows is necessary. Cash flow statement, cash budget, fund flow statement, and other techniques are used for this purpose. So management have different techniques by which they manage the cash. Okay, that is cash flow statement, cash budget, fund flow statement, and other techniques. Now disposal of earning. Administration of earning is an important function of the finance department. Administration of earning is an important function of the finance department. It involves decisions relating to dividend policy, plowing back of the profit, creation of reserve, etc. Such decisions are made on the basis of the amount and trend. Such decisions are made on the basis of amount and the trend of the firm's earning, capital market conditions, modernization and expansion plans, taxation policy, etc. So disposal of the earning. Disposal of the earning means now we have started our business. We have started our business. We are doing the business. So we are earning money. We are earning profit. So how we are going to use that profit? How we are going to use it? That is disposal of the earning. So administration of earning is an important function of the financial department, finance department. So here again, finance department have an important role to play. How they are going to use that earned money. It involves decisions relating to dividend policy. Now dividend policy is what? If you have raised money from shareholders, you have to give some part of the profit to the shareholders. That is come under dividend policy. Plowing back of the profit. Now plowing back of the profit means instead of giving the profit what you have earned to the shareholders or from whom you have collected the money, you use that profit again in your business to generate more profit. Creation of reserve. Now there is one more term called creation of reserve. Means here we keep aside some profit, okay, so that in future if there is some unforeseen circumstances, then we can utilize that. So such decisions are made on the basis of amount and trend of the firm's earnings. So all these things, it depends how much earning we are doing and how we are doing the business. Is we are every year we are getting profit, or there is up and down in the business. So this all depends upon the amount and the trend of the firm earning, capital market conditions, modernization and expansion plans, taxation policies, etc. Next is financial controls. Evaluation and control of the financial performance is necessary for ensuring the financial health of the business. It involves the development and use of appropriate control techniques, return on investment, budgetary control, internal audit, ratio analysis, break-even analysis, and several other techniques are used for this purpose. So financial control. So to control the finance, okay, overall finance, we have different techniques that financial managers they apply to control their finance. So evaluation and control of financial performance is necessary to ensure the financial health of the business. So if you are controlling your finance, then your financial health will be good in the business. it involves different technique what we discussed, like techniques like return on investment, budgetary control, internal audit, ratio analysis, break-even analysis, and several other techniques. And last is accounting. So accounting, in most firms, finance and account are combined into one department. In some very big firms, finance and accounts are two separate departments. Accounting is the art of classifying, recording, analyzing, and interpreting the business transactions. Accounts need to be maintained not only to ascertain the profit loss of the business but for several other uses. Financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting are the three branches of the accounting. So accounting what means here, we are, whatever business we are doing, we are recording that business. So accounting is nothing but, in one way we can say that, a recording of the business, and then from that recording to understand in which direction we are moving, whether we are doing a profitable business or there is some problem in the business. These all come under accounting. So for that we make different types of account. Okay, we analyze them, and from that we draw conclusion. So in most of the firms, in big firms, accounting department is separate, right, from this finance department. So we have seen different functions of the finance department. Now here we have a structure of the company, board of directors. At the top we have board of directors. Okay, then we have managing directors, board of directors. Okay, you can say that owner of the business. Then managing directors, there are directors who are appointed to manage the business day-to-day activities. Then we have directors of finance and account. And finance and account, like that we have many other departments. Here we are majorly focusing on finance and account department. So directors of finance and account, and that finance manager is separate and account manager is separate. Under finance manager we have financial planning and banking relations, we have cash management, we have credit management, we have portfolio management. Under accounting we have financial accounting, cost accounting, budgeting, internal audit, taxation, etc. So this is all about our chapter finance and accounts. Okay, I hope most of the things you have understood. What I recommend that you again, after some time, again go through the chapter. Okay, that will help you to understand it in a better way. Then you try to attempt the questions given here. So let us discuss some questions. Answer is also there. Okay, give 4 functions of financial account department. So we have 8 functions given. Out of that you can write any 4 functions. So they have written estimating the amount of fund needed, choosing the source of fund, raising the fund, and investing the fund. Now next question is name the following. So here first question is relative proportion between equity and debt. What is the name? Okay, relative proportion between capital's owner, capital, equity, and debt. So this we have seen in capital structure, right? Capital structure means we decide how we raise the money, means from what different sources we are going to raise the money. Second, business finance. Second is the process of planning, raising, controlling, and administering the fund used in the business. Business finance, the process of investing long-term fund. The process of investing the long-term fund. It is capital budgeting, how we are going to utilize the fund in long run. Administration of earning, it is disposal of earning, and distribution of profit among the shareholders, that is called dividend. Okay, so these are the one word answers. Now explain the management of cash function in brief. Management of cash functions. So what they have written, adequate amount of cash must be made available. This is cash function, right? Management of cash function. So adequate amount of the cash must be made available in the business at all time to meet day-to-day expenses. Availability of cash is necessary to maintain liquidity and credit worthiness of the business. At the same time, ideal cash should be avoided as it involves loss of earning. Efficient management of cash inflows and cash outflows is necessary. cash flow statement, cash budget, fund flow statement, and other techniques are used for this purpose. So this is your cash function. Cash function in brief means how you are going to manage your cash. So again, adequate amount of cash must be made available in the business at all time to meet day-to-day expenses. Availability of cash is necessary to maintain liquidity and credit worthiness of the business. At the same time, idle cash should be avoided. So all these points we have discussed. Idle cash should not be there because it then what we can say that its earning potential, it loses its earning potential. So cash should not be ideal. Efficient management of cash inflow and cash outflow is necessary. And cash flow statement, cash budget, fund flow statement, and other techniques are used for this purpose. So this is all about management of cash in brief. So a simple chapter, right? Okay, a simple and a small chapter, I will say. Within half an hour we finish this chapter. Okay, so I think it will hardly take again half an hour or so to do this chapter in in a proper way, I will say, in a proper manner. Okay, so thank you. In the next class we will see a new chapter.